Got the old turbo sitting up there. It's right up in there and they look like cat dog. Kaboom, boom, bam! It broke the block. Well then. Alrighty, so I was telling y'all that there was gonna be a little project, something cool coming on, and the reason I didn't know for sure is because I couldn't get it running right. It's a 86, 2-door, 4-cylinder, 4-speed with the old thistles on her. And I got it from a good old buddy of mine, Will Wisdom, old Willard. Well, Will Wisdom's name. He goes by Willard Johnson. That's his MO. That's his name, you know. But anyways, he a good old buddy. But he called me up, well, a while back, and he needed a gas tank. Well, I told him, I said, yeah, come over here. I got a red Jeep in the back. Pull it out, you can have it. So he come and got the gas tank, and he said, I'm gonna get this thing running. I'm gonna be at the race. Well, he never showed up. Couldn't get it running right. And it's had these TSLs on it. These right here. These are a little slicker than what I wanted, but I've been looking for a set of these so I want to race cut them. You know, lighten them up like they do the big buggies and just see how they do. So, well, he messaged me the other night and he was like, hey man, you know anybody wants to buy a 86 model 2-door Jeep? And I just kind of seen it. I was eating and I was like, nah, I don't know, you know. And then he said, well, and then he texted back before I could reply, and he said, well, if you want to buy it, he said, I'll sell it to you $400 and I'll deliver it. I said, what's the shoot for? He said, and it's got TSLs you've been looking for. I said, I'll take it. Bring it over. So he brought it over here and it wouldn't start on the trailer and it started and die, and it was acting goofy. I didn't really know what was going on with it. And the key didn't want to work sometimes. So I got in the shop here, and Monday evening after work, I messed with it. And it just had me confused more than anything. All day Tuesday at work, I sit in the truck. Well, while I was working, I was thinking about, why can't I get this? What's wrong with it, you know? And it's the TBI and the big ignition coil and all that, which is not anything like the R4Os. And I've dealt with TBI. I had a cab truck with a 4.3 TBI in it, and I've had a, you know, Chevrolet, the 90s model Chevrolets with TBI 350s in them. But I ain't never been real good with the wiring on them. I got on charm.li and I couldn't find much on it. So I come back over to the house. I got off Tuesday evening and I just started messing with it. Well, I kept noticing it was like it was just acting goofy. Well, turned out the whole problem was this right here. This goes straight to the block. Well, in this jumble of mess all around here that you can see, which he didn't do all this, he's how he bought it. But this jumble of mess, they don't have a ground from the block from the battery to the body, or from the motor to the body. It's just from the battery to the motor. So it was getting ground every now and then. It wasn't getting ground. And that's what it's doing. The relays couldn't do anything, and fuel pumps kicking on and off, and that's all it was. Ground. Check the simple stuff. Take a multimeter, ohm it out. Ground the battery to the body. From ground to the motor. From body to motor. Just ohm out all your grounds. Grounds, they'll screw you quick, and it's the easiest thing you don't think of. But now, which right now I got the wiring stuff ripped out over. I'd start it for you. But then I couldn't find anything, and I messaged my good buddy Dex about if we can run the 2-wire like we do in our white Jeep, like the one we race and stuff. And pretty much what it is, you take this connector right here, and it's right there. It goes into that fuse block, and you unplug it. Well, out of all of this connector, all you need is technically 1 wire. So I'm telling you right here. So yep. So this wire right here. Let me see if I can get you a little closer and it'll focus. The bottom one, second one over right there. That is your computer on and off. Put power to that and start it. And then this one right, yeah, that top one right there in the middle, middle one right there, that's your starter. So if you put power to that bottom one down there, and I don't know if I can, yep. All right, so here it is. So this is the plug it goes into. It's in the Jeep like this behind the fuse block. she cut it off. That yellow one on this specific Jeep, that yellow one right here, it is drawn off. And then this top middle one, that green one right there, that's your starter. Put power to that one and it'll start. So GoPro went black on me. It messes with my head when it does. But that's only 2 wires, which also your fuel pump, then if you do it that way, you have to take it and run a power to your fuel pump, make a key on for the fuel pump, because one of these right here, I'm not for sure which one, and if I'll try to look it up and see if I can figure it out, and if I do, I'll take a picture and circle it and put it in here. But one of these is your fuel pump out, and I'm sure there's many of them that's got key on power, but to run the fuel pump to 3 seconds, cut it back on and all that through the actual relay, it's one of these wires, and I ain't for sure. I don't run it on my Jeep. I just run it when the key's on, fuel pump's on. But because the inside of it, I mean, the reason I've done all this is it's a mess. Now we got it cleaned up a little bit. When Crystal gets, she's on her way home in a little bit, I was about to start vacuuming. She called and said she was about to leave work about 10 minutes. I was like, perfecto. I need somebody to vacuum the whole butte out for me. But the cool part about it is I've been looking for a 2-door to build me a race Jeep for next year. To use the body to build a race Jeep. So I'm going to pull the 4-cylinder and straight shift out. So if anybody's looking for probably not a 4-cylinder, but a straight shift for a 4-cylinder, or I don't know if I can use the transfer case, same, I'll keep it. But if not, if it's specific to this, then if you're looking for a 4-speed or transfer case, hit me up. We can cut a good deal on it, because I'm going to put 4.0 and stuff in it and encage it out, and it'll be take the place of the white Jeep, because it's been up and bowed up. Hopefully next year I might race the white Jeep there at first. Not for sure. With surgeon stuff, it's going to be kind of hard to, but we'll figure it out. But I got to think it, man. You know, we need to start doing some cool stuff for the videos. So what'd be cool? I don't care about this motor anyways. Well, I had a ZJ. I know I've made this short story long, but I had a ZJ that I put a turbo on. Little yin yang, zoom, zoom, the Amazon turbo. My buddy said, hey, I got this turbo. If you put it on there, you can have it. And it was years back, but I still have the whole kit. I don't know how much boost it made or anything. So, but it was laying around. I'm like, dude, it'd be pretty cool on this 4-cylinder. Maybe if I can get it to work right. And well, here's the setup here. Just an Amazon yin yang boy. When it came out of the manifold, I dropped it in. You can see where I sandwiched it there to go up beside the bell housing and your upper control link straight up. Welded the flange straight to the turbo straight to the flange. You got the little flapper there. Boop, boop. And on the other Jeep, I don't have it anymore, but it was just a piece of rubber pipe to an exhaust pipe that bent perfect over to the intake and rubbered in. No intercooler, no way. We pinned the wastegate back, or we thought we did. We tried our best to, but no wastegate, none of that. No intercooler. Dumped it in there, full bore hole to it till she comes apart. This time I'm gonna look in a little more, and I might, if it chokes it out under wide open throttle, we'll add an injector or something, because these motors have wide open throttle switches, factory, right here. And I don't know, well, you can see it right there. I don't know if I need that switch or not for it to run right. If I don't need it, and I don't have enough fuel at top end, then I'm gonna take it and plumb another injector into my inlet, you know, on my charge tube, and then make it where that, you know, power will be to the injector, and that'll ground the injector. Whenever the wide open throttle switch is hit, it'll ground it, injector will open, fuel. So, not 100% for sure. By no means watch this video to get turbo advice, because I don't know nothing about it. I just know I like cool turbo noises, and I like seeing motors go boom, and I'm sure y'all will like the turbo noises and seeing the motor go boom. So that's all we're going for here. Something cool for y'all to watch, something cool for me to do, and it could go amazingly good, or it could go terribly bad. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. But that's pretty much the introduction. I know it's pretty long here, and I'm sorry for it, but I had to get the whole story across because I don't know, I just felt like I did. Hopefully, somehow kept you entertained through that story. But yeah, I just want to get a quick intro. Well, get this part, get all this in. I'm gonna, before we start doing the turbo, I'm about to get the Jeep vacuumed out, get a battery mounted in the back, get the battery cables ran, get all my wiring right so I can start it and run it and start disconnecting some of this vacuum lines and crap up here to see if what I can get rid of up here. You get rid of some of this junk, and then we'll just disconnect. If it dies, we'll connect it back. Disconnect it if it starts running like crap. We'll connect it back, and we'll get rid of mostly everything we don't need, and then that way we just got more room to play and we ain't gotta worry about stuff. So that's the plan. I'm gonna get these battery cable stuff knocked out and get all this stuff cleaned up, and when we start kind of getting this turbo laid off in here, or seeing what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do that, I'll pick y'all back up. But I think it's gonna be awesome. So see y'all here in a little bit. Alrighty, well, it took a little longer than I expected, but we got all the, not all the wiring, but I got most of the wiring, you know, cleaned up. There's some left around here in the engine bay that I still got to work on cleaning up. But we got the Jeep vacuumed out. Here you can see here, got all the Jeep vacuumed out. I just went and moved it all over to that key switch right there, and that's key switch and lights. And then I got the fuel tank remounted, new wire into that. Got the battery moved back here in the back, and just some stuff tidied up. It'll start right up now, run pretty good. Timing sounds a little low or something, I don't know. We'll mess with that. But last night I got it over here and kind of did some mock-up. Got the old turbo sitting up there. It's right now, if you look right here, it's just slid over it. Hang on here, I'll show you. You can see there, that pipe comes up right there. That's PB blaster dripping out of that. I started it last night. I didn't want to start it dry, so I just put some PB blaster in it so it wouldn't run the bearing dry. Probably not the best lube for it, but better than nothing, I guess. Exhaust pipe. So the other one I had, it ended up not working out perfect. So I had to cut it all up, and it was a whole fiasco last night. When I took the exhaust off the manifold, one of the bolts broke, and that was a son of a gun to get out. But anyway, ended up, we got, I don't know if you can see there. So this piece of pipe here, I actually slid that on there because I was going to use it to make that joint. Well, I didn't need it, so I just slid it over there and tacked it out of the way. But I ended up just right here. You know, that pipe used to turn and go back that way. Well, pretty much I cut it there and spun it. I spun it straight up. And then, obviously, you've seen the turbo. It's going to sit right in here. And it had a bunch of ugly brackets on it and stuff. So, but I gotta make, so you got this plate right here, and I welded that to it when I first built it, but this plate here, and I'll take it and I'll come off that plate, and I'm gonna make something that probably comes from that plate up here to like this bolt hole or something. So I'm gonna try to fix all three motions. You got side to side, up and down, forward and back. So I'm gonna come this way for forward and back. I'm gonna bring it over here. I don't know exactly, probably tie to something over towards this side of the motor or somewhere. Make something kind of come up and bend around and go over here to hold it so it can't side to side. This will keep forward and back. And then I'll probably I'll find a bolt hole down there somewhere, or go to the motor mount bolt and make one that comes up to the bottom. That way the turbo's mounted to the motor. Because if I make mounts from the turbo to the body, the exhaust ain't got no flex in it, so it's just gonna fight the whole thing. So I'm gonna tie it to the motor, and then that way, if whatever motor does, turbo will go with it, and it won't, you know, hopefully won't break pipes and stuff. I definitely got to raise this up, because the way I built my flapper there back there, well, that whenever you stomp it and that goes up, it takes all that smoke and just shoves it right inside. The last one had a windshield on it, and I didn't think about it, but that motor used oil and it would cover the windshield in oil. Well, I didn't think about not having a windshield. Now everything just comes, all the exhaust comes inside. So we're just gonna put an old donkey stack on it and bring it up here. That way when I stomp it, it'll over top of the Jeep, baby. But yeah, this morning I gotta go. But I don't know, I'm about to set it back up here. I gotta figure out an oil line. This was my oil line before. It's a brake line. I just take the oil pressure sensor outside the block. We'll plumb it up to the turbo. And then this line here will just pop right back in here, where I'll probably just take it off and slide it right on there, and it drains right back down through there. And it's simple, easy peasy. And then we'll just build, we won't intercooler it or nothing. I'll get my intake on, and we'll hard pipe it over. But once I get the turbo set up here where it's gonna be, and kind of get some mounts mocked up and made, and or figured out, and just kind of get it a little more done on it, I'll pick y'all back up and we'll look at it. But just want to show y'all that we finally got the Jeep running stuff, and we're getting her on there. It's gonna look different. And last night I come up here and I gassed it and I put my hand in, and it's pushing some air. So I know it didn't make a big difference, which I didn't have a boost gauge on the 4.0, so I don't know how much boost it had, but it didn't seem like it had much. This here probably with the 4-cylinder, it probably have a little more. I don't know the numbers and all but I'm not a turbo guy. I don't know how to do the right way of turbo and things. I just know how to put this to make the thing go woof, 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 and then that shove air into ja, and then just go bam. That's the goal. So, like old boy said, he said, walked up in there and they look like cat dog, kaboom, boom, bam. That's probably what it's gonna sound like. But yep, we're gonna get this thing set up here and get some mounts made, and I'll pick y'all back up and we'll see how it's going. All right, here's a little updated date. Since last time we talked, I ain't made it that far. So I was gonna put turbo up here, and I was like, man, before I put this turbo up here, I better get my oil feed line ready. Well, we don't use oil pressure sensors, so I just take it out and we'll plumb a line in there, feed turbo. Easy, right? Well, I guess Newton's hanging around here today, because if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And by God, is that not the case? So I grabbed the oil pressure sensor right off in that little hole down there to take it out. Well, I wish I could find it now. I don't know what I've done with it. Probably dropped it too. Well, I grabbed it with a pair of channel locks, and I'm, cranking down on her, about to get her out. Really don't know what I've done with the oil pressure sensor. But anyways, it had a brass elbow on it. Pow! Broke it off in the block. Son of a gun. So I couldn't find no ease out small enough. So I run to the Advance, get me an ease out, come back, put it in there, cranking on it. Everything seems like it's going the right way. No. Instead of backing the dang brass piece out, I don't know if it's a focus, it broke the block. Cracked the block in half. So, best thing I can think to do in a quick time, well, at first I took a 3/8 bolt and it fit in there decent, and I drilled a hole through the center, and I was going to weld a fitting on the end of it. But the way the motor mount is right there, I was about to shorten it up, and it was just aggravating me. So what I've done is I took that brass fitting right there, and it had like a number 4 JIC fitting on or something up to whatever. I cross-threaded on it, but so I took it flat wheel and I ground her down to where it was about perfect, and I drove that some gun in there, and I took it and JB welded around it. But we're good now. We got I got it switched over to a ferrule fit. Now I can run the brake line again. But yeah, that's just an update. We did get a piece of pipe for our exhaust, and I also cut us this sweet teardrop tip here. So run her up about like that and put our flapper back on her. But yeah, it's just one of those days. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So now I'm gonna get turbo set up here and start making mounts and stuff, and I'll pick y'all up when we get some mounts made. Alrighty, so we got the turbo on there. We got it on there. Got our oil line to it. This is one of the braces to keep her from going side to side, and this one runs down here, right there, so that it can't go forward and back, kind of up and down. And also put this one to tie to that one. If you look, she's pretty stout. So went to do the oil line down there. You can't see because it's dark right now, but my repair didn't work. So then I took a 3/8 bolt, drilled a hole through the middle of it, and I tapped it a little bit, and I was gonna run it in there and then JB weld around it. Well, it broke off in there. So when it broke off in there, I just took the welder and filled the bolt full and covered it in JB weld. We'll seal that deal off. There's another port over here on top of the oil filter. We found it. So hopefully it ain't starving nothing else for oil. And got it run up and drop down. Run up from there, drop down. Then obviously we got this one, go over and drain. Put water in it I had to change the fuel pump last night. I mean, not water pump, my bad. But we got water in it, and I haven't bled that out yet. I have to do an electric fan on it. Gotta put that on there. But we also, look at this beautiful, beautiful looking fabrication here, you know, just my lovely welds on this nasty stuff. I didn't clean nothing up. But this, kind of hard, but it goes like that right yonder. So, got to get that on there, which I'll probably start it without that on there first, just to see. But, yeah. I think, well, I guess if everything's right, I mean, I suppose we could start it right now. So let me pull this out so it'll maybe take some water. And oh yeah, I got that linked too. The only question about starting is if the battery's charged or not. But we'll see. Come on, baby. The other day it took a minute. Hang on. Let me put the battery charger on this old girl. Alright, I got y'all on a tripod I built. But I got a battery charger on her now, and there was 2 plug wires off on it that when I was messing with the oil line earlier, I pulled them off and forgot to put them back on. So, let's see what it'll do now. How about now? Huh, let me look into something. There's got to be a wire or something unplugged somewhere, because usually it starts right up. Let me look into this and I'll pick y'all back up and we'll see. Alrighty then, so Alrighty then. Had music on. But so you seen last night I tried to start it and it wouldn't start. Well, multiple issues I think. One, because when I did get it started, it would run good in higher RPMs, but it would run like crap on the low end. But the reason it was only starting there here and there is the relay over there. It was working, but I think it was getting because you could mess with it and it would work and you could start it, cut it off and start back up, and it wouldn't start, and you go over and mess with the relay and it would start. And so changed the relay and I ain't had a problem. The other issue is I think we were stealing the oil right there at the pump or something along that lines. So it was, we were stealing the oil from the wrong spot. So either it wasn't getting the pump right, or it was, I don't think it was building lifters up right, because in low RPMs it would run like crap. Like it would backfire and pop and stuff. Like it was, the valves wasn't opening right. But, and then high RPMs it would, and I think it was where it was being able to build the oil pressure. But I got rid of the oil lines. She runs good now. So I just took the oil line off the turbo over there, and I just did away with that deal, and we just filled her full of grease. So, but I'm gonna start her up here real quick and let you hear it, and then I'll tell you the plan of action. And they look like cat dog, kaboom, boom, bam! Well then. Part of the shirt started knocking. Something started knocking. So what we was gonna do was I was gonna go out here in the field and we was gonna make some pulls, non-turboed, without the cold side on, and see what it do. Just see what kind of power it got, and then put the cold side on and see if we gained anything. But now I think, even though I really wanted to race it, now I think we're just about to put the cold side piping on and see if it'll take it, I guess. I was about to pull the thermostat out of it before I went out there because I'm scared it was gonna get hot, because I think it's stuck, but yeah, I think it's knocking. I don't know what it sounded like to y'all, but to me it sounded like it was knocking. So yeah, I'm gonna look into it just a touch, and then but most likely I'm gonna throw cold side on it, and we'll see if we can push a rod out of the bottom of it. So be right back. We're gonna figure this out real quick. Alrighty, so here's the deal. I don't know if it's knocking because I ain't started it back, but after shutting it off, I took my trusty screwdriver here and turned it over. Watch right there. It didn't have blow by when I first started it. Now it has blow by. So I like to take it out here and blow it up in the field, but what cool is that? So unless that's what y'all want to see, or maybe wait for wheeling to be open and take it to wheeling and see how many hills we can hit with the turbo 4-cylinder before it blows up. So what I'm gonna do is, this video ain't really turned out how I wanted it to. I wanted something cool, you know, to be at the end, us blowing it up or riding around or something, but I'm nervous too. I'm scared. I don't know how long the motor's got. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let y'all decide. Leave it in the comments. What do y'all wanna see? Do y'all wanna see just take it out here in the field and blow it up? Do y'all wanna see us take it to wheeling and beat the crap out of it and see how long it'll last? Or really hate to take it to ALP. The motor's about to jump. Or do you want to see me weld the rear end up and weld the front end up and just go ahead and take it to ALP and see if it'll make a run? I don't know. So y'all tell me. So turbo's on it, charge pipe and everything's on it. I mean, I have the charge pipe and everything for it, so pretty much it's ready. If I take it, only thing I have to do to really take it to the race is weld the front and rear up. But I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. So y'all drop in the comments what y'all want to see, and we'll go from there. So hope y'all liked it. Hope y'all enjoyed watching, and hope y'all have a good day.